I come in peace.
If you're hungry, I made pasta. I reheated the pasta you made.
I ambushed you today. I'm sorry.
Like everything about this isn't a mess.
Well, ignoring it isn't going to make the problem go away.
I know.
So can we talk about what's really going on? Like, you need to find a way to make this work with Cash.
I don't want this to come between me and Jasmine.
Hear all of that. I get you. But your behaviour around him is going to affect all of us. And sooner or later, you're going to put Jasmine in a position where she's forced to choose Cash because she loves him.
So do I.
Hello and welcome. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast where we unpack the latest week's episodes and discuss the residents, their lives, and all the drama from our favourite fictional town, Summer Bay. Right, hello everybody. We are Scientopia. This is Coastal News, a home and away podcast. Welcome back. You're all very welcome to another brand new episode. How are you doing, Sophie? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm well. You're
Good.
surviving another heat wave.
I know.
Another English heat wave.
It's not as hot as last time, so I'm not. Yeah, this one doesn't feel as bad, but I'm so tired. I've just not slept properly. So if I say the wrong words today, that's why. Not drunk. I'm just really tired.
It'll change things up from me messing up anyway. Oh no, it's nice. You know me, I love the heat.
Yeah,
Having a good week.
enjoying it.
Yeah. Are you in drought yet? This is the big story now because it's. I know we're saying we love heat and we love summer and yes, suntan and all the rest of it, but actually it's quite serious if you look at the news. Like we're all
Yeah,
going into drought and
I'm
village
not
running dry and.
not officially, but I have had a text from Severn Trent, which is like, I don't know. Do you have Severn Trent where you live? That's the water company where I live.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
United Utilities in the
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, they texted me the other day and they were like, can you just please be responsible with your hose pipes and stuff? So we don't think we're quite on the ban yet, but we've been told to be good, basically.
Yeah.
Be good.
Top tips. Turn the tap off when you brush your teeth. Have a shower and not a bath. You're like, who has a bath in 2022?
I haven't
Unless
even
you're
got
ill.
a bath. I haven't even got a bath. So that's, not going to happen.
It's always one of those emails, though, isn't it? You know, It's like state the obvious.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we stay out of drought. I know some listeners, perhaps if they're from the south, are in it. We pray for you. Please be nice with the water reserves. It's nuts, innit?
Yeah. Mad.
Considering we're surrounded by this stuff, there must be some different technology we could surely work at if this is going to be the normal.
It's mad. It's because I was driving yesterday, I think it was, or the day before, and there was a big fire in a field somewhere, and I thought, God, I hope there's enough water to put that out. But don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I've been there before. The moors here the other year.
Yeah.
We all had to close our windows, and it was like red hot.
Yeah, not good.
Oh dear. Anyway, how's work? How's your home and away? You up to date?
Yeah, up to date. Work has been very thinky this week, which I struggled with.
The heat as well has probably compounded it.
It has. I don't know how useful I've been this week, really, but getting there. At least it's Friday. Woohoo!
Yeah.
I'm up to date. I've watched 5-star pace, 6:30 pace. So.
Fabulous, me too. We'll get onto it, I'm sure. In the week that Marilyn was on Breakfast TV here in the UK.
Oh, thanks for the heads up on that, because I would have missed it otherwise. I'd had a little sneaky peek. So, yeah.
Fun times. It feels like there's lots going on about the show here in the UK at the minute. There's some effort again, which we were whinging about at one point. So,
Yeah, it's nice because, like you say, I think Neighbours had a lot of marketing and advertising and that kind of thing going on, and Home and Away didn't. Like you said recently, the Twitter account started to tweet again, didn't it? And it hadn't been active for a long time. So it's nice. I mean, obviously it's sad because we were getting the resource that Neighbours used to have. and they're not there anymore. So yeah, sorry neighbours, but it's just nice to see that effort being put in for Home and Away again.
Yeah, I agree. And it just feels good as a fan.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely.
yeah. Well, I've got some points of business, and then we'll get on to your headlines. So, followers on our social media may know we announced last weekend our winner of our anniversary competition. Lynn, congratulations. Your goodies are on their way to you. And our second winner of the mug, the second prize, was one of our paid subscribers. We've reached out to you on email. So please check your email because I've not heard back from you yet.
Oh,
if you want your prize, that's it. If you want your prize, check your email. And also just remind, if you want to be a subscriber, you can for 99p and get extra bonus episodes. When you'll hear us chat on about all sorts of things, breakdown, laughing, crying, live, all the things that don't make it to these episodes. And also our Soapy Scoop section, where the fabulous Miss Wogan here herself, Sophie, takes us through some sort of news stories surrounding Home and Away. It could be the show, the cast, whatever. And we were talking about cameos last week, weren't we?
We were.
Celebrity cameos.
Toxic.
So go check it out if you're a member. That's the only clue you're getting. Toxic. And if you're not a member, you can subscribe for 99p and get access to everything. There'll be a link in this episode description. There we go.
Well done.
Right. Headlines.
Yes.
Xander puts on a lunch to quell the storm brewing between Rose and Cash, but his efforts are fruitless. Theo gets his results and draws a line under his assignment drama, but it's not over for Justin just yet, is it?
Oh, no.
Oh. Lyric land in the bay to a lukewarm reception at Casa Parata. And Nick receives a nomination and a potential change of heart.
Oh, dear. Excellent.
Well, Xander, he's pulling together this lunch, the lunch from hell, as I'm dubbing it. Because it's obvious it's not going to go well from the offset. Rose doesn't want to go, Cash doesn't want to go, and the whole point of it is to get them to talk.
Yeah.
We were talking on last week's pod about how Rose has just kept this going on and on. And on. And they're just not seeing eye to eye, despite that conversation they had last week. It's not moved on any, really, has it?
No, and I'll be honest, I think I had to watch that episode twice because the first time around I was just, my eyes glazed over. I was like, is this still happening? I just, not in the mood.
We're beyond this now, aren't we?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so bored. Just don't talk. Do talk. I don't care. Like,
I know. At this point, just someone walk into the sea or something and put us out of our misery. Yeah.
It does feel like that. She kept saying, I'm gonna leave. I was like, okay, good, like, because I can't handle this.
I did like what she said to Cash, though. She said, if you're gonna lie to your girlfriend, it's not fair to involve other people. I think he needed to hear that because I think everybody realizes he's obviously got quite an insecure relationship with Jasmine. Apart from him, he's the only one that doesn't see that, And I know, was it me who was saying last week, if I was in Rosie's shoes, I'd be telling Jasmine, your relationship isn't what you think it is, as harsh as that be. So, Cash tries to get out of this lunch as best as he can. Xander sort of, shoe arms him into it. And in the end, because there's this argument between him and Xander that sort of about him going when he tries to get out of it, and it sort of spews into the diner, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then that's that moment you think, finally, Irene's going to see something here.
Yeah.
Finally, penny drop moment. So she chases Cash out, and she's like, "What on earth's going on?"
Yeah.
And she still doesn't see it, but she does. In the end, it's her that sort of talks him into going.
Yeah,
Is it? Am I right there?
I think
You've watched
so.
it twice. You tell me.
Yeah, I think so. I think she was just kind of like, I don't know whether she's worked out what the issue is, because normally, like we were saying last week, normally Irene's pretty savvy about that kind of stuff, and she could see that Rose has got a crush on him, and that's why they're falling out. But I'm wondering whether she thinks it's something to do with work, like falling out over something at work or
Yeah.
whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't think she really gets that Rose has got feelings for him. I get that impression anyway, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
she was just, I think she had a go at him, like, well, not had a go at him, but was just like, you need to talk to her, clear this up, blah, blah, blah. And then she went to Rose, didn't she? And she said, you need to talk to everybody and tell them the truth or something. Did she say?
That's right. Yeah, she said, "Can I offer you some advice?" And she's like, "No, but you're going to anyway."
Yeah.
And she just say something. You're right. Yeah, tell the truth, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You just need to tell the truth. Be your truth, basically.
Yeah.
And so everybody ends up going, including Tex ends up inviting himself to this lunch. Does he just want the drama, or was he genuinely
I don't know.
there for Rose?
I don't
Can't
know.
work it out.
I can't. I told you last week I'm really suspicious of this guy. I'm not sure about him at all. I don't know what. I mean, obviously Rose is a very attractive girl, but I just don't think that's why he's interested in her. I don't know. Could be wrong.
Yeah. Other motives to be close to her.
Yeah, I think
the
copper thing, because we saw him do that weird thing when she was in her uniform, didn't we? Where he was like, "Oh, nice."
Yeah.
That was weird. So
chauvinistic. Yeah.
It's the copper thing, isn't it? It's something about her being a police officer that I don't know.
It's got to be important to it somehow, somewhere along the line, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I just don't see him. They've slept together once and then now they're behaving like a couple, kissing and where have you been today? And it was a bit odd.
Yeah.
And then I just don't see him sort of getting involved in family drama, lunches when you've just slept with someone once. You just be like,
yeah.
No. Run a mile, wouldn't you?
Yes.
So what was his reasoning for wanting to be there?
Yeah.
Well, the lunch goes sour. Cash walks out of it. And I mean, as does Tex, but not because of it. He's kicked off, just because Rue wants to sack him. And then that's when there's this conversation between Xander and Rose, where she admits she loves him. I'm in love. She says it out loud. I'm in love with my brother, my sister's girl. Who's she in love with? My sister's
boyfriend. There we go. Yeah, not cool, really. Not cool. Is it love? Is it love? I don't know. Can you love somebody that you're never? I don't know. She's been with in a cop car with for a few shifts. Like that's. I don't know. Is it a bit premature to say the L word? Is it not just lust?
Maybe it was the way he let Alf off that fine. It just did it for her.
Maybe. Who knows? I don't know whether it's. I think if it was Tane and she said she was in love with him, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, like I get it. But Cash is just so boring. I'm sorry, I can't imagine someone falling for Cash that quickly. I don't know. Lust, yes, because he's very attractive, but love, he's very dull, isn't he? Is it just me?
No, it's not. I mean, let's fast forward a few weeks, love. He breaks up with Jasmine. You think you're going to have this loved up romance, but all he's going to do is ask you what shift you're on.
And if you want to go for breakfast in the diner, that's all they do. Oh, bless him. I know.
For me, I think this story is missing Jasmine. I think it definitely feels like Jasmine that there's a big hole in the middle and it's Jasmine. I think that would have really made the story a little bit more interesting. It's obvious she's not around. And she's severely missed amongst these scenes. I think I don't think the story holds up well without her.
It doesn't, no, because if she was still on the show, this could all be going on while she was there, and then she'd walk in the room and there'd be silence, and she would know why they weren't talking to each other and stuff, and that would make it more interesting. Maybe, I don't know. I still think I'd be fed up with them, but
I would, but
yeah,
as a fan and of Jasmine, I'd be rallying behind her. And then I'd be
yes,
getting opinions about it from
yeah,
her perspective. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
And
yeah.
because I don't have any of that to root for, I'm just a bit like you said before, do we even care? You know what I mean? Like, we don't, do we? You know?
No,
I do wonder if they know at this point whether she's coming back or not, or it must
yeah,
be difficult to try and sort this out, you know?
because it feels like this is going on forever, doesn't it? I mean, I think originally she was going to take a month off, wasn't she? The actress, was it a month or was it a bit longer?
I
So
don't know.
are they going to try and stretch this out for a month? I don't know. Oh God, I don't know how I can do that.
Oh,
But
you lordy. Mm. Don't even, it doesn't bear thinking about.
it doesn't really, to be honest. But oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. Well, I know how they end it because unfortunately I saw a spoiler on blooming Twitter the other day, and I saw about how Jasmine leaves, which I won't tell you. But
No, yeah, because I've avoided it.
yeah,
I've not seen anything, so yeah, don't tell me.
it's not. I don't think it's anything to do with this stuff. So
Oh, well, that's a relief.
yeah.
Well, Rue's
Wow.
back as well.
Yes.
She's back amongst all this. She's in the diner, supping coffee and catching up with Maz,
Yeah.
who's filling her in about handyman techs. And now she's like, "Now I'm back. You know, I can install the new spa." And they have this sort of quite comedic duo going on. Maz is on fire, and you know, it's decided that she's gonna dismiss Tex, and Maz feels bad about it and can't bear to do it.
Oh.
And then when Rue meets Tex, you know, which is the phone call he's received from leaving this lunch of hell, she can't do it. And just then now that they give him more stuff to do, so Tex seems to be. I was saying last week, he's charming the town one person at a time.
He is. He's very manipulative. He was like, she was about to obviously sack him. I think he knew that, didn't he? And he was like,
yeah,
oh no, because she was saying, oh, we just want to thank you for everything you've done. You know, it was like a wrapping it up. Thank you for what you've done, but we need to let you go. You knew it was coming. So he was like, can I just stop you there? Oh, I just want to thank you because you've given me a purpose. And, you know, I was going job to job and, you know, you've given me something to do. And, I was like, oh, come on, don't buy this. And she was just like, oh, okay. Yeah, great. No, that's all I wanted to say. Just thank you. Thank you. I was like, no, Rue, you've been played. Come on.
Oh, I like him.
Do you? Oh,
yeah.
Gives me the creeps. And then he doesn't answer a question. You know, they're asking him at the lunch from hell, they're asking him about what's your name? You know, Tex, where did that come from? And he just didn't answer anything. He just said, oh, you know, I'm good with the chainsaw, Texas Chainsaw Massacre type stuff. I was like, he hasn't. Rose is like all over this guy, telling her all her secrets about her family. And he's not told her anything about himself, has he?
And he's very, he's hiding something. Don't get me wrong.
Is,
I just don't have a reason to think too hard. But you would think, you know, I know, you know, YCPD don't have a very good track record, but you would think she'd be a little bit more, you know, intuitive, or, you know, a little bit more inquisitive, should I say, into him. You know, surely as a policewoman that would be ringing alarm bells.
I think the problem is that she's so blinded by the whole cash thing that she's not really thinking about Tex at all, even when she's with him, is she?
No, yeah, that's true.
So
yeah, because she's just using him, isn't she?
Yeah.
Poor mate.
Oh dear.
Did you know that you can play Coastal News, a home and away podcast, right from your Amazon Alexa? Just say, Alexa, play Coastal News now. And of course, you can still catch your latest episodes on all other podcast apps, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, Castbox, Audible, Player FM, and much more. Just search Coastal News, a home and away podcast right now, wherever you get your podcasts from. Well, Justin is creeping this week, and he's trying to make lunch for Theo. He's going to do your breakfast, you know. Have you got your results yet? Rack off, Justin. I've just woke up. That kind of creeping. And Theo's, he's everyone's stressed, aren't they?
Yeah.
Justin, Theo, Leah, they're all stressed out because he's done this exam on the tail end of the week before, because obviously of the whole assignment shabackle that happened. And there's an agonizing wait as he plays PlayStation without it switched on again.
Yeah.
And finally he gets it. He's passed. Yay!
Well done, Theo.
Finally. Not the 80 that he wanted, but he's off the hook. He's passed. His tutor's satisfied now that he knows his stuff, and on he can go with his apprenticeship.
Or can
now,
he?
Oh, can he not?
Well, not if Justin's problem.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. You're right, because as the typical Home and Away, we just elation to absolute despair in a phone call. Because as we're celebrating Theo, being able to continue with his course, Justin's answering the phone, isn't he? And he's now not allowed to facilitate said apprenticeship because it's now come to light that he's been, which is fair enough, I reckon. He's been writing assignments.
It's not cool, really. Yeah, it's not cool, Justin. Yeah. And I like the conversation he had with Ziggy about this, actually, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I was like, yeah, exactly, Ziggy.
Fun.
When he went to Ziggy, because it's going to be spoiling the first bit, because he only went to Ziggy to ask her to help him out of this hole, didn't he? Because they've said to him, you can't take on these apprentices, you can't help Theo anymore. And then he's ringing around all the garages, isn't he, and trying to find him another person to take him on and finish his apprenticeship, and he's not finding anybody. And the whole time I was thinking, you've got one in your garage, you've got a mechanic in your garage. And eventually he went and found Ziggy, didn't he? He was like, oh, I've got a really big favour to ask you. And he obviously told her all of this stuff about what happened, the fact that he helped him with the assignment and then went and dobbed him in and said, I did his assignment for him. And she was just like, who would do that? Who would write someone's assignment and then immediately kind of phone them up and dob them in? And he was like, well, it was Leah's idea, actually. I was like, yes, Ziggy, like, tell it. Like, it's all the stuff. She basically said all the stuff that we said last week. Like, what on earth were you thinking?
And it was another moment where I'm screaming at the TV, actually. That conversation, because every time Justin was like, oh, I can't do apprenticeships anymore, I was like, thanks to Leah.
I know. I was glad he said it, because I was like, this is the first time you've actually said out loud. I mean, obviously it's because Leah's not in the room and he's terrified of her, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just ad-libbing the whole episode. Thanks to Leah.
No, and the fact that she's like, everybody, Theo's been moping around, Justin's been moping around, Justin's been punished, Theo's been punished, hasn't he? Because he's been first of all told he was going to be investigated for cheating, then he's got to take the exam. He's not actually got the mark that he studied for and worked for. He's got a lower mark. It's all because of Leah. Justin's lost the apprenticeship, which meant that Theo by default has also been punished again. And Leah, nothing happened to Leah. No one's. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. Where's her karma?
Oh, she's like Teflon.
She is Captain Teflon. Oh, so gross.
And now poor Ziggy is like had to postpone a trip to go and see Coco.
I know.
Because now she's got to get herself up to speed, and presumably she's got to make herself qualified. So it's had this massive domino effect, really, hasn't it?
Yes, and it's all bloody Leah. She's not even apologized. She's not even said, I'm really sorry for my part in this. Nothing. She's just been like, oh yeah, you messed up, didn't you? Oh, never mind. I'm like, what? Oh, hello.
I think she did say to Justin, didn't she, one point, well, I did tell you to make the call. And he just sort of and he just sort of said, yeah, but it doesn't make a difference, I've still done it. I'm thinking, yeah, because you can't think for yourself.
No, he would have been on the sofa. Imagine if he'd refused to do it. She'd have either rang them herself, and she, then she wouldn't have got any. She would have had to fess up to it then, wouldn't she?
Yeah.
Or she would have made him sleep on the sofa till he'd done it. because she's one
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. He had no choice, really, did he?
She's so annoying.
She never thinks.
Oh
You know.
dear, I'm just
And
so
really, all he had
cross.
to do was have a bloody conversation.
I know, yeah. She just had to say, "Oi, Theo, I've heard that Justin's done your assignment. What's that about?" And he'd have gone, "No, I rewrote it. I just didn't want to break his
Yeah.
heart by telling
Yeah.
them." She'd have been like, "Oh, okay, fine. Don't do it again."
Yeah. Yeah, mind you, that wouldn't have taken up half as much time on the podcast. So there you go.
True.
And I wouldn't be there every 2 minutes on the 20-minute episode.
Leah.
Thanks to Leah.
I know.
So thanks to Leah. So something happened. Thanks to Leah.
I've just been shouting cow at her every time she comes on the screen. I'm like, you cow, you
Oh,
cow.
dearie me. Stop meddling, woman. Yeah. Oh,
And
gosh.
I'm a fan of her. Maybe it's the heat. Maybe I'm just really ragey this week, but I've just been really cross. Oh dear.
No, I've got it a good authority. It's 2 weeks on the bounce now.
Is it?
Yeah, that you've been cross at her. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and last week wasn't that hot. Oh dear.
Well, Flick's back. She's back from the
Yay.
city, signing the dotted line, sealing the deal. And she's back, and Tana's happy to see her, and them two. I'm really, really into them two nowadays. He's even calling her Bub all the time.
I
You know,
know, it's so cute. I love them.
Yeah, I've really grown. I mean, I've always liked them, but I've really grown to be invested in them on a big way. You know,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
But she's swiftly followed by her muso friends,
Yeah.
Lyric, that we later learn, the much anticipated from the international viewers, because we've watched on horror as Australia just like sets alight with rage
I
at this about
know.
4 weeks ago.
I was really worried about this, I'll be honest, because obviously we look at the hashtag on Twitter and read all the posts and everything, and you get spoilers, and you get, because how many weeks are we behind? 3 or 4 now?
Something like that, yeah.
And everybody has been raging. Like the hashtag has been really negative lately about Lyric and a few of the other cast members. So I've been dreading this whole debacle, really, because I've been like, oh, what if I hate them? What if they're awful? What if it's as bad as everyone's saying? And I don't know whether it's because I was bracing myself for something horrible, or whether, I don't know. I don't get it yet. Like, I like them.
Yeah, well, put it this way, I don't dislike them any more than I would a normal new character, really.
No,
Think about it.
Yeah.
How many characters have you loved from the first episode they arrived? Barely any.
Hardly any, because most of the time they turn up a bit shifty, don't they? A bit shady.
Yeah.
And it takes a little while to warm up to them and stuff. I think probably Logan was the first one that I liked immediately. Recently.
Yeah, that's it. We normally speak. I mean, look at Theo.
Yeah.
How we were with Theo.
We hated him.
Prime example.
Sorry, Theo, love you now, but yeah, when you first joined, couldn't stand you, could we? We were so mean about him on the podcast.
Yeah, but it goes to show, really, you've got to sort of see through the noise and decide for yourself, haven't you?
Yeah,
really, because I feel the same as you. Do I love them? No. Do I hate them? No. I'm a little bit indifferent. I don't know enough yet.
No, don't know enough. Yeah.
I think it's a lot of new people, so it's a bit of a headache. We've only just had some new ones arrive with Sandra Rose, and now we've got these lot turning up all at once, and it just feels like a lot.
It does.
This Naomi's here.
I think we need it though, because to be honest, without them, with the amount of people that have left, I think it'd feel really flat.
Yeah, it's a bit thin on the ground, isn't it? So
yeah,
I get it, and I'm reserving judgment, but yeah, I was bracing myself.
I mean, I was making a meme this week for our social media for birthdays, and I needed 31 characters, and I couldn't get to 31. I needed 31 from 22, from the year been on the show this year. And I couldn't get to 31, and I had to include the band, and I had to include Buddy the dog, and I had to include Naomi, and I had to include Tex. I had to include all the newbies, because I couldn't get. I mean, that's how small the cast is at the moment.
Yeah.
And half of the list are dead. Ari's on there, dead. Bella's on there. She's gone. Ryder's
Might
on
as well
there.
be dead.
He's gone.
Yeah.
Jasmine gone. Logan gone. There was like 10 characters that weren't even on the screen anymore that were in January. So
it's been a bit of a nuts year for cast turnover, hasn't it?
And I think right now is the painful bit, isn't it? Because right now we've just lost like 6 people in a row or whatever it is. It feels like loads. And then we've gained Xander and Rose, who now feel really disjointed because Jasmine's gone. So we got invested with them at the beginning, and now we've gone off them again because she's not there anymore, and it feels really weird. And then we've got the band, so it's like it feels like a real sea change, but I'm not there yet. I don't know.
And we've been here before.
Yeah.
With lots of new cast. I think it's a prime example of just sort of watching it and just making your own mind up, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And trying not to get bogged down with the noise online, our friend Tess on Twitter was saying earlier on today she loves them.
I think some people do. I think the problem is that with a lot of things, when you don't like something, you're really vocal about it, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like when someone wants to complain about something, you write a complaint letter. You hardly ever write, a letter saying something's wonderful, do you? Because you just kind of go, "Oh, that's wonderful," and just put it to one side. But if you don't like something, you are more vocal, aren't you? And I think that's what's happened on the hashtag. It's not actually that many people. When you look at who's tweeting, it's the same accounts over and over again. So I don't think it's a huge section of people. It's just that they're the ones shouting, aren't they?
Yeah, that's it. Well, they end up crashing at Casa Parata. And Tane's not best pleased, is he? At the beginning, he's a bit like, oh my gosh, because they've come in literally like a wrecking ball. Tornado has arrived. And every time you hear that guitar riff, you're like, oh, they're about. There's a lyric close. Did you notice?
Did you hear John notice them the other day? Like, what's that racket?
Walking up the alley, he was like, guitar. I was like, here we go. There's a lyric close.
I love that.
And so she's letting them crash, and they're having this rat-a-tat between them. So let's just very briefly go through who they are. So we've got Bob.
Yep.
Kirby.
He's the singer, isn't he, Bob?
Yeah.
Kirby keyboard.
Kirby keyboard. Remy. He's bass, is he?
Is he guitar? I think he's guitar.
Yeah. And Eden.
She's bass, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think
one
of the way around. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I do need to keep sort of. I think I'm getting it now. The first day I was a bit like, which one's who? Because the names are a little strange.
Yeah. Interesting names.
Yeah. But I was a bit like, I was thinking a female was Remy for a while, until I realised who was talking to who.
Yeah.
I've
been stalking Remy for a while, so I knew who Remy was.
Or Demi, as Max says.
Demi, yeah. And Flick was like, no, Remy. Yeah, they put a picture of them on the Home and Away account ages ago, and I was like, looked once at Remy and went, okay, yes, hello, interesting. And I went and looked him up.
Remy, yeah.
And he's like, his Instagram account, I went immediately. I've been stalking him for ages, so I do know Remy.
Right,
terrible.
Okay. Well, me and all the listeners, we're going to go and check that out in a moment when we're done with this episode.
Adam Rowland.
Thanks for the heads up. And Flick's got a call from Mac, who's now back in town, and she wants to talk biz. She wants to get down to their first business meeting, so she needs to leave. And she leaves Lyric at the house with Tane, and they're rehearsing a right racket. And Tane pulls the plug. And he sort of lays down house rules. And you're thinking, oh, Tane.
I love him now. Do you know what? A man that likes a clean house and looks like that. Oh my god. Swooning.
And you can't blame him though, can you?
No. Yeah.
And I did like that Eden sort of went and reached out to him afterwards.
Yeah. That
and was like, I thought, oh, you're not too bad, girl. You understand. Yeah. Yeah, I thought she's got a bit of a twinkle. I thought, she's got something about her to go in and just check, is it all right for him to stay?
Yeah,
She had
yeah,
something about her, to go and do that. So I
yeah.
thought that was good.
But then
And
she
then
went and
yeah,
nicked. She went and nicked Neat's bed.
oh yeah, I think
She's
I
got.
was putting on. She jumps in bed and she's like, "Shut up, need to sleep." And I was putting on. If there's two of them, if I was Nick, I'd have been like, "I'll take the couch.
Yeah,
You two
yeah,
go in my room. It's a double bed or what have you."
yeah,
Right. Let's just work this out. There's a relationship going on with Kirby and Bob, is there? Or a relationship
yeah,
of sorts. What's
yeah. But it doesn't look like a good one, does it? It looks a bit. Doesn't look like a good relationship to me. He
have
looks
they
like
sort of blurred the friend lines by
I think so because didn't Flick say something like, "This is new. I didn't know you coupled up." Well, that's when they first joined. So
mm,
obviously she knew them. She's known them for years. She knew them back in the day, but they've obviously become a couple since she knew them. So they're obviously friends first or bandmates first, and now they're a couple. And it's making the dynamic in the band a bit weird, isn't it? Because they do seem to be arguing and not getting on. And he splashed her with water the other day, and she obviously was really upset about it. And they were all like, "Bob, that's not cool." And he was like, whatever. He's coming across as a bit of a douchebag, isn't he?
he's a grade A pillock. He is. And I was messaging you tonight in tonight's
Yeah.
episode, watching thinking, well, Bob's a knob. Like
Nobby Bob, yeah.
and I was thinking, watching it tonight, I was thinking, obviously there's this weird relationship between them, or they've clearly something's happened and it's obviously
Mm,
made things awkward in the band, what have you.
yeah.
Bob's yelling, war that he's the
Mm,
manager. And
yeah.
do you see the vote? They were voting whether to do this gig at Salt. We'll come on to that in a
Yeah.
mo.
Yeah.
But and Bob always gets the deciding vote because it's always a tie because he makes Kirby vote for him.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking there's some quite emotional sort of
Mm,
abuse going on here. I know that
yeah.
sounds a bit of a stretch, like I've gone 0 to 100 in
No,
no time.
I think you're right. I think it is an abusive relationship. I'm not saying physical,
Physical,
but
yeah, yeah,
emotionally, I think it is abuse. It does come across that way, doesn't it? Like he's very
definitely,
controlling of her.
yeah, yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one that saw that because then obviously he saw his ass when she voted against him.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and then it was a bit like, and then the other guy's like, "Oh, you never vote against him," and I
Yeah.
just thought, okay, this guy's clearly pulling the strings,
Yeah. And
like.
if you did you hear tonight? So basically, Bob is like self-appointed band leader, but he's not actually. He doesn't make the music. He's just a singer. So without him, they've not got a singer, but they could find one. Do you know what I mean? But without the rest of them, there's no music at all. So I don't know why he's like self-appointed singer, and I don't know why he's obviously got a big chip on his shoulder about he's the next big thing because he kept saying that, didn't he? Like, oh, we're the next big thing, and we're too good to like do a gig in a restaurant and blah. And I was like, well, if you're so good, what are you doing in the little town then? Why are you sleeping on someone's sofa?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a really good point to mention at this point, really, that they've been invited to perform, haven't they, at Salt's relaunch party.
Yeah,
That's where Flick went to organise with Mac.
yeah,
They butted heads as we expected them to about
yeah,
the vision of the business. But
yeah,
Max, after a talking to with Dean, she's going to get on board and let Flick make some decisions. And Flick wants to have a live music night, get her friends, bands in to perform at Salt and get the place bustling. And that's what they've been asked to do.
yeah.
Bob doesn't want to do it. And so they've done this vote, haven't they?
Mm,
Um, and as you say, he's going round saying this is beneath us. We're better
yeah,
than this, and
yeah.
I'm thinking, it's beneath you, mate. Doesn't
Mm.
Tane say at one point, he's up himself? At one point, did you hear that bit?
Yeah.
He was like, well, he's up himself.
Yeah. He's not wrong, is he?
And he goes, he's in a real grump in the morning because he doesn't do instant coffee. He's one of those,
Oh, he's one of those.
And he
Is it
goes,
fair
yeah.
trade? Blah blah. Yeah.
He's in the
Organic.
diner, and, yeah, and he's trying to tell Marilyn that her coffee's no good for him, and she's like, if it's a nut, we'll milk it. You know? And when I'm really glad she did that. She really put him in his place.
Yeah,
You
she
know, because
did.
he walked. I don't do any of this brand stuff. Good job. You know, and
Yeah.
she's got an answer ready for him. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm really glad she proper put him in his place in her
Yeah.
own Maz way.
Love
You know,
that. Yeah.
hilarious. So yeah, like you say, in a word, he's a douchebag.
He is. He's a narcissistic douchebag who's manipulating and controlling his girlfriend, and that's probably, like I say, I do like the band so far, but he's probably the only one that I have got iffy feelings about at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm not even interested in wanting to know about him now, because I just
No.
think there's no need to speak to people and treat them like that. So
They just need to get
um,
rid of him. He's only the singer. They can get a new singer. I'm
Yeah.
so mean. I'm so mean.
Or who's your favourite then? After we've seen a couple of days of those now. So far, who's your favourite lyric band member?
It's between Remy and Eden for me at the moment, because I think we've seen more about them so far, whereas Kirby and Bob, we've only seen them fighting, really, haven't we? We've not really seen their personalities. Well, Kirby's personality, I think we haven't seen enough of yet.
I'm going to go with Eden.
Yeah, she seems quite interesting, and I love the way that she dresses. Like, I love that kind of band t-shirt, eyeliner. That's my look.
Yeah,
So,
rock chick. Yeah.
Rock chick. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep an eye on them. Let's see how they go. We're not hating it, are we? We're not hating it.
No, it's. I think we need it. I think we need something, because I think without it, we'd be. What would we be? What would the storyline be? You know, more Rue and Marilyn and Tex. You know, we need something else. There's not a lot going on at the moment, is there really? So that, or Nico saving 100 people on the beach. You know, we needed something to distract us from the fact that nobody's in the show anymore, I think.
I agree. Well, they agreed to do the concert in the end.
Yeah.
And so they go to Salts and get started getting set up, and you're thinking, thank God you've come good, you know.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Flick's done a lot for them over the years.
Yeah.
You know, so they owe her a couple of songs. Do you know what I mean? At her business launch, how selfish if you weren't going to do it.
Yeah.
So they do turn up in the end, but she starts having some sort of panic attack at the end of tonight's episode, doesn't she?
Does. That was strange, wasn't it? Because I thought she was going to have the panic attack before that, when she thought it was all falling through. So is it a delayed panic attack because she was sort of bottling it all up, and now it's like, okay, I don't need to panic, but I'm going to anyway because it was already there? I don't know. It was strange.
I think it's the pressure. I think there's been a lot of, she's putting it on herself for things to go well. She wants to prove herself, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And I think also, there's been a lot of talk about, oh, look at you, all grown up, business owner. Yeah. There's been a few comments, hasn't there?
You've changed.
Yeah. So there's been all this sort of building up. I think it's sort of crescendoed, and it's all coming out, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't sort of paralyze her, you know, and because Mac's a seasoned pro. She's gone home to get changed. Taking it like a duck to water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
After she finally came round. So I feel like she's putting a lot of pressure on herself for it to all go well.
Yeah.
And she probably just needs to chill out a bit. Yeah.
I think it's like two worlds colliding, isn't it? There's like this new world that she's got now, where she's living with her boyfriend. It's a lovely relationship, stable. She's got a job. She co-owns the place that she works in. You know, she's got that sensible side to her. And then with the band back in the Bay, they're talking about all the wild nights and all the partying and all the stuff they used to do, like that wild girl Flick. So she's like two different people. I think she's very much like Mac, actually. You know, we say that Mac flits from businesswoman to, you know, she's 1 minute she's independent woman, I don't need no man, businesswoman, and the next minute she's really vulnerable and, you know, needs help and needs people and all that sort of stuff. And I think Flick's two people as well, isn't she? She's this party girl, but now she's also this loved up, you know, businesswoman thinking about the future, putting roots down. So I think it's the two things. I think she's trying to work out how to be both Flicks at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I love that. I love that analysis of that. I think that's Bob on.
Bob
on. Right, so Nick is summoned on his day off to the surf club, and along with the rest of the bay, by the looks of it. And John's got an announcement. Nink Parata has been nominated for a Bravery Award. And you know what? About blooming time, the amount of lives he's saved lately.
In the last week alone, I think he's saved the whole of Summer Bay, hasn't he? Oh,
The population crisis is Nink Parata's fault.
Let one drown, for God's sake.
Just let God do his work.
It's terrible.
No. And it all transpires quite quickly that Naomi, his new kitten, following him around everywhere, it's all her doing.
Yeah.
What do you think of it? I just see Carrie Bradshaw and I look at her constantly.
She's gorgeous, isn't she? She's got gorgeous hair. I know I'd love to look like her, but I don't know. I do really like her character, but I don't like the awkwardness of trampling all over his girlfriend. Basically, I just don't.
Yeah,
like that.
because she knew from the get-go about Bella, didn't she?
Yeah.
We said this last week, didn't we? Or was it the week before? I can't remember now. You know, it's girl code. Girl code. Yeah.
It's awkward. So that bit of her, I'm not loving. Yeah.
Well, we forward, don't we, to that, later on, and that moment, obviously he lives at where the band are all crashing and they crash in his bed and everything. So he ends up pushed out onto the patio outside, doesn't he? And he's sleeping on a sun lounger. But we have this, I think it was a lovely scene, actually. This and it was a really nice long scene, and I thought, oh yeah, this is juicy. I love this. And he's phoning up Bella. In New York, obviously, and he's sort of telling her he misses her, and this is really. Is he feeling guilty? And that's why he's called her. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, definitely, because he's feeling guilty because he's been nominated for this award by Naomi, hasn't he? And then Naomi's also been like, "Oh, let's go together to the big fancy dinner." And normally with stuff like that, he'd go with Bella, wouldn't he? And it's not really Nick's kind of thing either, is it? And he's kind of said that already. And when he's feeling, out of place or I guess nervous or whatever, he'd usually go to Bella, wouldn't he? And she'd big him up and you can do this and you've got it. And they were quite good for each other in that kind of way. So I think he's missing all of that, isn't he? Because he's not even, if she's in New York and he's in Sydney, I mean, I don't even know when they're awake and asleep I don't think they're ever awake at the same time, are they really?
I can't imagine. So my head's trying to work that out.
Yeah.
You're right. And I think she sort of slid into the stuff Bella would be doing.
Yeah.
So proud of him, gushing about him, wanting to show him off.
Yeah.
Attending, like you say, a big stuffy event, that's the stuff he should be doing with Bella, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think he's sort of gone dialing her up because he's feeling a bit like, I miss her and it's making me miss her, but also shit, I'm getting along with this girl.
Yeah, and it probably feels like he's emotionally cheating on her, even if he isn't, physically cheating on her. Because if you think about, they used to spend all the time together, didn't they? They were in each other's pockets all the time. Even when he was at work, Bella was there photographing him, while he was working. She was always there. So pretty much every thought that went through Nico's head, he shared with her any time of the day, any time of the night. And now he's not even doing that, is he? Because she's not even in the same time zone as him. So I think he's feeling like, well, now I'm telling this other girl everything that's going through my mind. It's emotional cheating, isn't it? Basically, that's the guilt. Yeah,
absolutely. And then obviously he's crashed outside. And the next day when Tani says to him, "Are you all right?" In a sort of blokey way, "You good?" But he's actually sort of saying, "Are you okay?" But he's doing it in a bloke way.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't think I can do this long distance anymore." So, I think that's him sort of making his mind up, isn't it?
Yeah.
That, okay, and I need a bit more than just a voicemail because I've been asleep.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's only been a couple of weeks, considering how long those two have been a couple of weeks apart. You wouldn't have thought would break them so easily, but I think he does need someone's attention 24/7, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he's not getting that from her. He's getting that from Naomi.
Yeah, That's right. And he's a short memory, clearly. Yeah. Will he do the decent thing? Will he end it all first before anything, while things are platonic, or will it take something to happen for him to act?
Well, he wants a
I'm
cheater.
hoping I'm hoping he's going to learn from his mistakes, but you just don't know, do you, how it's going to go with him?
No. Yeah. I haven't forgiven him for that whole... What was the name? Can't think
Sienna.
of the name. Sienna.
Sienna.
Evil. Yeah, I should remember that because there's an evil Sienna in Hollyoaks as well. Yeah, I haven't really forgiven him for that. So I'm still like, yeah, he could so...
Well, all it took was his Uber to be late. Didn't take much, did it?
It didn't, and I think it was a photo of Bella just looking happy, and that was it. He was like, right.
His hands were already at his ankles.
And there was no sign of trouble in that relationship at all at that point, was there? So that was so random. Yeah.
Right, that brings us to the end of the week.
Oh wow. That was quick.
Yeah, unlike the week. Would you want to hear? Do you want your first look, Sophie?
Yes.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Of course you do. I know what you love more than this bit. Episode number. Oh yeah.
Yes. What are we on? 7,000.
7,832.
Wow. I can't wait till we're on the 8s. It's ages away.
About 200 episodes. What's that? About 12 months.
Yeah, it's like a year.
Oh well, we'll do a special podcast. The crowd goes wild at Salt. It says.
Oh, that's good.
Hopefully, it proves to Flick that she's not worthless, that she can achieve something and she can do good work.
Yeah.
Cash gets a blast from the past.
Oh, we saw that, didn't we, in the trailer tonight? It looks like he knows Eden somehow.
That's right.
Interesting. So that's 3 women he's got in a triangle.
Jasmine.
That's a square.
Oh my God.
He's in a square.
Yeah. I'm really feeling sorry for poor Jasmine. Where has this cash come from?
Party cash. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, party cash.
Fun cash.
Whatever it was. The one barbecue, one sausage sizzle. And that's it.
That's all it took.
Oh, poor Jasmine.
I know.
There's some history there, isn't there? Because he was her brother. He's Flick's brother, so that's the connection. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I'm going to be quenching in my seat, I think, at that. It's the wrong word, isn't it? Cringing.
I think you mixed up quenching, clenching, and cringing.
It's not going to be comfortable, whatever verb we use.
It's one of them.
Jealous Dean woos Ziggy back. What?
Hey. Okay.
Jealous Dean woos Ziggy back.
Back from where? Where's she gone?
I don't know.
Oh, what's going on? A minute ago they were going to where were they going? Cannes or somewhere.
They got a group on. Whatever valley.
What? Is she run off with someone else? What on earth's going on?
Jealous Dean woos Ziggy back. I don't know. Maybe she's just studying somewhere. I don't know. Jealous though. Maybe some blokes all over at this concert.
Oh, maybe it's one of the band members. Maybe it's this Bob guy trying to make Kirby jealous or something.
Maybe. Someone's all over Ziggy, probably.
Yeah.
It's making Dean jealous. Maybe Dean, gets his groove on. Woos her back.
I want to see that. I hope so. Awesome.
A highly strung Cash snaps.
Oh.
As Ziggy takes the driver's seat.
Oh.
None of this is making any sense.
No,
this is worse than last week.
It's so cryptic.
And then it says, is Tex who he claims to be?
No.
Oh, we don't think so.
He doesn't claim to be anybody. That's the problem. He just claims to be nobody from nowhere. That's weird.
These, we might have to get rid of this segment off the podcast because these are getting worse.
We'd have to write them ourselves.
Just get your crystal ball out.
Just do a tea leaves.
Mystic soul. The headscarf and everything. Yeah, do it.
Definitely.
Do it. I implore you.
Maybe when
Nico.
the heat's less. I can't do his headscarf at 35 degrees. I'm boiling. Sorry. Oh, I'm delirious from the heat as well. Oh, dear. Sorry, listeners.
Nico loses the courage for his bravery award.
He thinks he's going to win. He thinks he's going to win and give a speech, doesn't he? You know, like some people would be like, "Oh,
What
I'll
did you if
ne-
John was blowing smoke up your ass?"
Oh, that's true. Forgot about that. Yeah, my best lifeguard ever. Even though he's been here a week.
and he didn't pay attention in class.
I know, exactly. He's had some bad lifeguards in the past then, hasn't he? Dear me.
Someone is keeping an eye on Chloe.
Ooh. That's
I
creepy.
wonder if it's the taxman.
Oh, it
Wow.
could be, couldn't it?
And Rose gets lovesick for an absent Tex. Where's he gone then?
Hang on a minute, who's she in love with now?
Tex, isn't it?
Yeah, but isn't she in love with Cash? She just said she's in love with Cash, now she's lovesick for Tex.
Oh yeah. Oh god.
Oh, flip
I
flop.
keep up with her. Yeah. Who cares? Me, Tex-Mex.
Oh, Tex Rex. Oh, nice.
Have you not had your tea?
No, I'm thinking about enchiladas now. Ooh, nachos. Yeah. Sorry.
Someone get Sophie an Uber to Chiquito. Heartbroken Nico becomes the heartbreaker. We just said that, haven't we? We saw
Yeah.
that coming. We saw it coming. And Leah ends Chloe's juggling act. Oh, Shisaka.
Oh no. Well, she needs it, to be honest. She needs to choose one or the other, like Marilyn. Was it Marilyn or Ruth? Someone said you need to choose Chloe because she can't juggle both.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't have
and
two
obviously
jobs.
she's struggling, isn't she? She's running
Yeah.
late for the diner and all the rest of it. To be fair,
She hasn't even been home.
And Maz has been letting her off for turning
Yeah.
up late. So maybe, and you know what Lee's like.
Yeah, well.
Maybe she's come in and gone, out.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Giving her marching orders. Have you noticed that since Lyric have turned up, Chloe hasn't even gone home? Because we've had no scenes with Chloe whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
So has she been out all night at work?
Oh, yeah. We'll have to watch out for that to see what she says about that on Monday.
Yeah.
Whether that gets addressed or whether that's just like a...
Unless she's at Theo's.
Could be, but we know she's not. There's not the warmest reception over there either.
No. Odd.
Oh, God, listen to this. Tane receives an anonymous threat.
Oh, not again. Is it a rose?
Oh. What is going on? It's like the Twilight Zone.
Poor Tane. I'm sorry, but he's had a stalker. He's been poisoned. He's been stabbed.
His arm's in a sling.
He's armed in a sling. We don't know why. But we're not on the show anyway. I know why in real life. But what else can this guy go through?
I don't know. He loves his bub, though.
He
Receives
does.
an anonymous threat.
About what? Maybe it's to do with the gym. Maybe it's a Chloe thing.
Yeah, like we know about the money.
Yeah, we know.
You know,
Pay us.
Right, listen. In the episode before, Tex is absent.
Mm.
And you know your theory last week, which is now our podcast official theory, that Tex was involved with the robbery of times gone by.
I've changed
now-
my mind about that.
Oh, right. Oh, well, you could have told me that's official pod theory.
I'm sorry. The only reason why is because I was thinking about what you said last week about the timelines and Ari and how old Chloe should be and all of that sort of stuff. And I was like, Tex can't be more than 35. That's the most I will put him at. I think he's probably younger than that. So if the robbery was that long ago, he was either a child or a teenager when it happened, so he can't be
No.
involved.
The robbery must have been like 10 years ago.
It must have been longer than that, mustn't it? Because Chloe's 21, and I think it was when she was very little, so I'm thinking it's like 15 years.
I don't know, I can't cope with it. The
No.
numbers just don't add up, do they?
Unless Tex... Because Tex, what is he? How old do you think he is? 30?
No.
I don't know. How old is he
I don't know,
supposed to
he's
be?
probably like 18, but he's had a bad paper round. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I'm confused. And people with like the sort of
I just
stubbly...
think it's... Yeah, I know what you mean. It sways you a bit if they look a bit older, because, like, you know, you had
Yeah.
Ryder who was like baby faced, didn't you?
I don't know.
It's just a bit of a, you know, literally the episode before, Tex is absent, and then suddenly Tane is getting a threat.
Yeah, and Chloe's being
I don't
watched.
think
So is Chloe
that a
being
bit.
watched by Tex?
Yeah. Oh, I love a camera angle from a bush, don't you?
You love
Oh,
a
I
book.
hope. Dangerous music and these like first-person camera shots from a bush.
I love that, yeah. See a bit of a leaf. Move that leaf and look round the leaf.
Dun dun dun. Oh, thanks very much for listening. That's the end of us, you know, troping on about all sorts. If you want to get in touch during the week, we do tweet along to the episodes on Twitter, and we also post on Instagram at Coastal News Pod. The lovely Sophie here has posted a quick birthday game for you. Come and join in. And listen, like, subscribe to this podcast wherever you get yours from. We'll be back next week with another. Until then, bye from me.
Bye.
Ta-ra.